this is going to be Go Math Lesson 10.5 and 10.6 for Friday, April 31st. All right, these two lessons are about tally charts, and tally charts are a lot of fun and easy to do. So if you remember, when we did in class our group points, we used points to give with tally marks, okay? So this first question is just looking about sorting these red and yellow color crayons. So if you look closely, you see some are red, some are yellow. That could be one way to sort them by color. Another way you could sort them is look at their length. Some are long, some are short, okay? So you need to choose a way you're going to sort them. You can either sort them by color. So if you're going to sort them by color, you would count and put how many red ones here, how many yellow ones here, okay? If you want to sort them by length, you could put all the short ones here and write the number of how many short, all the long ones here, write the number how many long. You don't have to do both, pick one way to sort those, okay? All right, on this page, we're going to read a tally chart, okay? And this chart is called Foods We Like. You can see the title here. And on this side, we're going to put the total. So remember that one line stands for one vote. So each line is a tally mark, and each one stands for one child. Remember that when you get a diagonal line, that means it stands for 5 children. So if you count the lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The fifth one is always diagonal. So when you see a diagonal line, you can just say 5. So let's look at our foods we like. Chicken. We can see 1, 2, 3 tally marks, so they put a 3. Pizza. We can see a diagonal line, so that means 5, and then keep counting. 6, 7, 8. So 8 people chose pizza. Okay? So this question says, more children like, would it be pizza or chicken? Pizza has the bigger number, so they wrote pizza. Okay? Pretty easy stuff. All right, so let's complete this tally chart. So we can see the title is Boys and Girls in Our Class, and we see the tally marks are already here, but we do need to put the total. So if I see a diagonal line, I know that's 5. Now keep counting. 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm going to put 9. And how many girls? You count it. 5, 6. Okay, make sure you write your totals. Okay, now you can use the data in this tally chart to answer the questions. So how many girls are in the class? So that's easy. Just look across from girls. You already know your answer. Write it on the line. How many boys are in the class? So look at boys. Write it on the line. How many children are in the class in all? Okay, in all means plus. So that means you're going to add boys plus girls. So you can add 9 plus 6 and write the answer, or you could just count all the tallies. Write the answer. Number 4, are there more girls or boys in the class? So more means the greatest number. So you're either going to write boys, the word boys, or the word girls, the one that has more. Pay attention to your vocabulary words. Okay, on page 435, we have a tally chart of our favorite sports. So we need to put the total here. So I'm going to have you do that. Remember, when you see a diagonal line, write the total. That should be 5. Okay? So I want you to write the total for t-ball, soccer, and swimming. After you do that, then you're going to go on to answer the questions using the data on this tally chart. So number 5, how many children chose soccer? So you already wrote that up here. Now just add it, put it here. Number 6, how many more children chose baseball than swimming? Or t-ball, that's t-ball, sorry, than swimming. So remember, how many more means to subtract. So take the t-ball number, write it, minus the swimming number, and then subtract it and put your answer. Which sport did most children choose? Number 7. So most means the biggest number of the 3. Circle the 1. And number 8 says, write your own question about the tally chart. So you could write a question that says, which sport got the least votes? That could be your, make sure you start with a capital and end with a question mark. If it's a question, it needs a question mark. So make sure that's at the end. Number 9, Sam asked some other children which sport they like. They all chose swimming. Now the most children chose swimming. How many children did Sam ask? Okay, so now that means that we can see here from the data here, swimming has the least number of votes because it's only 3. And I can see soccer has the most because it has 5, 6, 7. So if I know this is 3 and this is 7, okay, because that's the least and that's the most. And now it says that now the most is swimming. So to make swimming more than 7, how many kids would he have to ask? So I could say 3 and count up. 4, 5, 6, 7, but it has to be more, the most, 8. And then count how many tally marks did you add on there. So we added 1 here. The diagonal line is 2, 3, 4, 5. So we added 5 more. So he had to have asked at least 5 more children to make swimming be the most. Because now it would have 8, and 8 would be the most. Okay. Coins in the bank is our next tally chart. And we see that we have dimes, write the total. Pennies, ooh, I see 2 5s, 5 and 5, write the total. Nickel, write the total. All right, here we're going to do a little bit different. Instead of writing who has the most or who has the fewest, which coin, we're going to write either greater than, less than, or equal to. So remember, we have practiced those before, and we wrote greater than, less than, or equal to with symbols. So remember, we said the alligator mouth is the greater than number goes to the bigger number, and the less than number goes here. Less than, the little point is the little number, and equal to means that they're the same. Okay, so remember back to that. So number 10 says, the number of tallies for pennies is greater than the number of tallies for dimes. Pennies is less than dimes, or pennies is equal to dimes. So we know to be equal, it has to be the same number. And I can see dimes and pennies are not the same number because pennies have more. So I'm not going to choose equal to. So is the number of pennies greater than the number of dimes, or is it less than the number of dimes? I can see there are more pennies than dimes, so that more means greater than. So right on the line, I'm going to put pennies is greater, copy it right from here, greater than the number of tallies for dimes. Okay, now you're going to do the same thing, comparing the number of tallies for dimes and nickels. So look only now at dimes and nickels. You should notice something there. Is the number of dimes greater than the number of nickels? Is the number of dimes less than the number of nickels, smaller? Or is the number of dimes equal to the number of nickels, the same? Okay, write it on the line. Number 12, the number of tallies is for nickels is comparing to pennies. So this time we're looking at nickels and pennies. So is nickels greater than pennies? Nickels. Is it bigger than pennies? Is nickels less than pennies? Or is nickels equal to pennies? Write it on the line. Number 13 says the number of tallies for pennies is greater than, less than, or equal to the number of tallies for both dimes and nickels. Okay, so remember and means plus. So if I can see for dimes, I have 4. And nickels, I have 4. Oh, that's a double, so you should know what 4 plus 4 is. 8. Okay, so now I want to look at the number of tallies of pennies and both. So is the number of tallies for pennies greater than both 8? Is the number of pennies less than 8? Or is the number of pennies equal to 8? Write it on the line. Number 14, how many coins are in the bank? Okay, so that means now we need to count all the coins in the bank. So we need to add all 3 numbers. So you can either add all 3 numbers or you can count your tally marks. Okay, so this one says 5, 6, 7, 8. Are there only 8 tally mark coins here? If there are, color that circle. If they're not, don't color that circle. I think I see more than 8. Okay, this one says 5, 10. Are there more than 10? Mm-hmm. This one says 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Are there more than 14? I think so. This one, count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, so I can see 10 and 4 and 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. 10 plus 8 is 18. So I think my choice would be this one. Color it in. Okay, pretty easy. Okay, if you want to do some more on tally charts, go ahead and do the favorite vegetables and the favorite pet. All right, we're going to continue with tally charts and lesson 10.6 on page 437. All right, and here we go again. We're going to complete the tally chart. That means write the total number of tallies for each of the favorite games, card game, puzzle, or board game. So if you see a diagonal line, you know that's 5. So you should be writing a 5. Count your tallies, write it. Count your tallies, write it. All right, now let's use our data from our tally chart to answer your questions. Which game did most children choose? So which one has the bigger number? Circle the game. Which game did fewest children choose? So fewest means the smallest number, so look for your smallest number and circle your answer. Okay. All right, our next one tally chart is boats at the lake. So on this one, we're going to look at the boats at the lake and we're going to decide if each boat has a sail. It says, how can you make a tally chart show the boats on the lake? So they're going to choose boats that have a sail and boats that do not have a sail. So boats with a sail, you can see they already crossed out this one and wrote 1 tally mark. They already crossed out this one with a sail and put a tally mark. Okay, then I see another one with a sail, cross that one out and put a tally mark. I see another boat with a sail, cross that one out and put another tally mark. So I can see there are 4 boats with sails. Okay, now let's do boats without sails. Remember, when you get to 5, you need a diagonal line. So I see 1 boat without a sail, another boat without a sail. Here's another boat with no sail. Here's another boat with no sail. I have 4, so if I have another one, it needs to be a diagonal. Here's another one, so that's going to be my diagonal, my 5th one, and 1 more without a sail. So 5 and 1 more is 6. Okay, so I have 6 boats without a sail. Okay, now you're going to do the same thing with the fish. So you're going to count the zebra fish. These are the long little green ones. So exit out and put a tally mark. Remember, if you get 5, it needs to be a diagonal line. And then do the angelfish and also write the totals, just like we did up here. Then you're going to answer the questions using the graph, the data that you made. How many zebrafish are in the tank? So you already wrote it, so write it here. Number 2, how many more zebrafish than angelfish are there? Remember, that means subtract. Okay, So you're going to subtract these two numbers and put the answer there. How many zebra fish and angelfish are in the tank? And means plus, so that means you're going to add these two numbers and put the sum here. Okay, here's our favorite snacks. Ooh, this sounds good. Which of these snacks do most children like the best? Ask 10 friends. Make a tally mark for each child's answer. So we'll do it just like we were doing before in the previous lessons. We'll ask my family and put a tally mark for each person in my family who answers. And then you also need to ask your family and put a tally mark for their answers. And then you'll get your total. So our favorite snack, we have a choice of pretzel, apple, or yogurt. Okay, so for me, my favorite snack, I'm going to say is apple. Okay, Kelsey, what's your favorite snack? Pretzel, apple, or yogurt?
Apple.
Ooh, Kelsey picked an apple. So put two tally marks, one for me and one for Kelsey. Sienna, favorite snack, pretzel, apple, or yogurt?
Pretzel.
Well, Sienna votes for a pretzel, so put a tally mark for pretzel for Sienna. Okay, now you ask your family and yourself and put your tally marks and then your total. Remember that if you get an answer with 5, it needs a diagonal line. Then you're going to use your data to answer the questions. How many children chose pretzel? So you'll already know that. How many children chose yogurt? And number 6, which snack do most children like best? So whichever one got the most votes, circle. And then number 7, what if 6 out of the 10 chose pretzel? Which snack would be the favorite? Okay, so if 6 people pick pretzel, let's count up to 10 from 6. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That means there would only be 4 votes to go for either apple or yogurt. Okay, and if this had 6. So which snack would be the favorite if pretzel had 6? If you're asking 10, there's only 4 more votes left. So that means it would have to be pretzel. And down here, you're going to write your own question about the tally chart. So you could say who liked, which snack got more votes, which snack got fewer votes, how many more liked pretzel than apple, any of those questions. Make sure you start with a capital, and if it's a question, make sure you end with a question mark. Okay, then we'll move on to our favorite school subject. Okay. Jenna asked 10 friends to choose their favorite subject. So here's her 10 friends, their votes. Go ahead and count them and write the total. How many chose math? Write it. How many chose reading? Write the total. And how many chose science? Write the total. And then it says something interesting here. It says she will ask 10 more children. So that means she has not asked 10 more yet. She's only asked these 10, but she's going to ask 10 more. So then it asks us to make a prediction. And remember, we've talked about predicting before. Predicting is making a good guess, not a guess that's just a random guess off the top of your head, but a guess by looking at the data and thinking about what would make sense. Okay? So if we look at how many have already voted of the 10, we see a big number, 6 of 10, already have chosen math. So if she asks 10 more people, it would probably make sense that more people are still going to like math, and it's going to be a bigger number. So we're supposed to predict which subject will children most likely choose. So since math already has a big number, it makes sense that math is going to continue to get a big number, and most will like math. That's just a guess. So number 10, based on this data of the 10 she's already asked, which subject will children least likely to choose? Well, if she asks 10 more, and we see that already math has a big number, so that means it's probably going to get the most votes. Reading and science are tied at 2. So if she asks 10 more, I would think these are going to be the smallest ones because math is going to get the most votes. So here, a good prediction would be to either write reading or science. Since they're tied, it would be a good guess would be either one. So you choose what you think will be the least likely subject children will choose, reading or science. Number 11 says, how can you prove if your prediction is good? Try it. Well, the way we would prove it is by going ahead and asking 10 more people, okay? 10 more children, and seeing if our predictions are true or not. So how can you prove if your prediction is good? Let's write that answer. Ask 10 more kids or family members or children. You can write it however you'd like. Okay? If you want to, go ahead and try it and see if your prediction is correct. Okay, number 12, complete the tally chart to show the number of votes. Okay, good. Fruit we like. So we can see apple had a total of 4 votes, so there's 4 tally marks. Bananas has a total of 5 votes, so you need to put 5 tally marks. Don't forget that it should be 4 straight up and down and diagonal for number 5. Grapes got 2 votes, so put 2 tally marks. Okay, if you want to do some more tally charts, go ahead and do the next page, and you can do your favorite colors and favorite insects. Okay, in our packet today, we have lesson 18, take a survey. This again is all about tally marks, okay? So this one's going to be quick and easy. All right, so a survey is when you ask questions to people like we have been doing and getting that information and recording it on a graph of some kind, either a picture graph, a bar graph, or a tally chart. Okay, so remember that each tally mark stands for one friend's choice. Okay, so it says Jane took a survey of her friend's favorite wild animals. The tally chart shows the results. So of the favorite wild animals, we can see elephant got how many? If it's a diagonal line, we know 5. Monkey, 1, 2, 3. Tiger, 1, 2 votes. All right. So here we're going to take a survey. Ask 10 classmates which wild animal is their favorite. Use tally marks to show their answer. And we have the same animals. Elephant, monkey, and tiger. So we'll ask my family and we'll ask your family and get as close to 10 as you can. If you don't get 10, that's okay. Get as many as you can. Don't forget to put 1 tally mark for each person who answers. And if it's a diagonal line, if it's the 5th vote, it gets a diagonal line. All right, so for me, elephant, monkey, and tiger, well, you know my favorite animal is a rhino, and it's not on here. So I'm going to vote for elephant because elephant is a big animal like a rhino. Sienna, what's your favorite animal? Elephant, monkey, or tiger?
Tiger.
Okay, so put a tally mark for Sienna's vote for tiger. Kelsey, elephant, monkey, or tiger?
Elephant.
Oh, Kelsey voted for elephant. Oh, Carlos, we need another vote. Elephant, monkey, or tiger is your favorite wild animal?
Monkey.
And monkey. Okay, now you go and ask your family, and remember that when you get to the 5th tally mark, it needs to be diagonal. Okay, so record my family and your family. All right, and then we'll answer the questions. So, how many children did not choose tiger? So, do not choose tiger means you're going to count all the votes for elephant and all the votes for monkey and write it here because they did not choose tiger. You're not going to count the tiger votes for question number 2. Only the elephant and monkey votes. Number 3, did more children choose elephant or tiger? So now this time you're only going to look at elephant's votes and tiger votes. Which one got the biggest number? So you're going to either write the word elephant or tiger, whichever one got the biggest number. Number 4, the most children chose blank as their favorite. So of all 3, which one got the biggest vote? Okay, go ahead and write that. All right, we got one more survey here to ask. We're going to ask 10 people, as many as we can, which color is their favorite? And we're going to use tally marks to show our answer. Okay, so we have the choices of red, blue, and green. Okay, of those, my favorite is blue because my real favorite, purple, is not on here. And Kelsey, what's your favorite color, red, blue, or green?
Red, blue, or green. I'm gonna say blue.
Okay, Kelsey votes for blue. Sienna?
Green.
Sienna votes for green. Put a tally mark. Carlos?
She says red.
Red. For Carlos. Okay, now you ask your family member and put a tally mark. Remember, if you get to 5, you need a diagonal line. Get as many as you can. It doesn't have to be 10. Okay, once you've done that, then we're going to look at our data to answer the questions. Number 6, which color was chosen by the fewest classmates? Remember, fewest means the smallest number. So you're going to put the color, either red, blue, or green, whichever one has the least amount of votes. Number 7, which color did most classmates choose? So you're going to write the color that got the most votes. Did more classmates choose red or green? So you're going to look at red and green and which one got more between those two colors. So your answer is either going to be red or green on the line. Blank, number 9, blank classmates chose a color that was not red. So here we need to put a number of people who chose a color that was not red. So we're not going to count red, we're only going to count blue and green together and write that number here. Did fewer children choose blue or green? So this time only look at blue or green. Which one got the smaller vote? Blue or green? Write the color on the line. All right, number 11, our last one for today. Jeff wants to ask 10 classmates which snack is their favorite. He makes one tally mark for each child's answer. How many more classmates does he need to ask? Okay, so remember 10 is our big number here. It says he's going to ask 10. So we need to count all the votes here and then see how many more he needs to ask to get to 10. So I'm going to start with the popcorn because I can see a diagonal line, so that tells me it's 5. And one more is 6, 7, 8. So he has asked a total of 8 people. But he needs to ask 10. So let's say 8 and count up to 10. 9, 10. So how many more people does he need to ask to get to 10? 2 more. So he needs 2 more classmates to vote. And the way we check that is 8 plus 2 should equal 10. 8, 9, 10. Yes, it does. Okay, have fun with this math and have a great day.